Thank you for joining me for this Coffee with Coach Cary. And this is part of our training series for runners. So if you're a runner or maybe you're just an aspiring runner, you're somebody who wants to start running, maybe do your first half marathon or your first race, then please join us. I've done several races. I'm wearing the medal today from the Vancouver marathon, which I completed, and I'm going to be going back again on May 1st to do the half marathon this year, May 1st, 2022. So thank you for joining me today. And today we're talking about training. Sorry, on YouTube, you didn't see the medal. Here's the medal here. And it's the half marathon, the full marathon on this one, medal for Vancouver. So yeah, and I look forward to running that race again. It's kind of fun because you go over a couple bridges, and Vancouver is beautiful. And May 1st, you couldn't ask for a better time of the year to run in Vancouver. So really looking forward to that one. Have a couple other races early next year, Las Vegas at the end of February and Seattle in June. So that's my first half of the year in 2022. And currently I'm training for the Vegas marathon. So there's 12 weeks to go until that marathon. And I'm just going to share with you what I was working on this week and what my goals are for next week. So we're on day 16 right now of 100 days training to lead up to this half marathon. And this past week, I was following the Nike Run Club training guide for half marathon. So I'm just going to flip over to that here on YouTube. You'll just have to follow me on Instagram and kind of listen to what I'm saying. So this is the Nike half marathon training program. And I'm following this guide right here. There's a really good summary of exactly what this guide is all about, the coaching that they do, speed, endurance, and recovery, kind of the principles behind this plan. Talks about weekly workouts. So I read all this before I started. How to use a pace chart. I used the pace chart this week just to get a better sense of where I'm at with my running. Excuse me. And if I could accomplish a personal best in Vegas. So that would be a dream of mine if I could get my personal best. I still have a lot of work to do to get there, but I am enjoying the training process so far. So on this pace chart, you basically look at your tempo, your average mile pace, and you kind of go down to that and check the time out, as well as your recovery day pace, see where you're at time-wise. And that gives you your best mile pace, what you would do a 10K in, what you do a half marathon in at your best pace. So it's kind of a reference guide or a good reference point to the types of runs you're doing and how you would do on a half marathon, or if you're doing the full marathon guide, a full marathon. So that's really good. I'll just get more into the training here. I'll back up a bit. So during the week, doing these runs, they say that the type of pace for the miles should be a 9 out of 10 effort. And for the 5K, when you're training at that pace, it should be a 7 or 8 out of 10 effort. And if you're doing the 10K pace, it should be 6 to 7 out of 10. If you're doing a tempo run, 6 out of 10. And if you're doing a recovery pace run, 4 to 5 out of 10. I did a recovery run today for 30 minutes. It snowed overnight, and I posted about that. So in the snow, it was a little bit more challenging and definitely a little slower. But I really enjoyed it, and I stopped to take some pictures for you guys to show you what the conditions were like. So that was part of my training today. Yesterday, I took our new puppy out for a run, and it's the first time, and we were doing hill repeats. And that was interesting because he was actually pretty good. He was following me and running behind me. Sometimes he'd stop and I'd have to stop, but we were doing these hill repeats, and that was a ton of fun. So I plan on taking him more and more on my runs as he gets older. And he's only 9 weeks old, so maybe 10 weeks now. So he's still a pup. Um, so I started with 14 weeks of training to go. Then we were on 13 weeks of training last week, and I'm just showing everyone on YouTube this guide. And now we're on 12 weeks to go. And my weeks start on Thursdays. So I did the recovery run first, and it was a 15-minute run on Thursday. Yesterday was the called runner up. It was the speed run, and I was doing these hill repeats. So that was really interesting. And then today was the recovery run. So 30 minutes of recovery pace. So that was the 4 to 5 effort. Um, this week, the runs are going really well. The speed run will be next, called triple sevens. And that's going to be 5 minutes of warm up, three times 7 minutes at the 5K pace. So these are going to be long intervals. And then the recovery will be 2 minutes and 30 seconds in between. I'm looking forward to that one. And maybe I'll be able to get off that speed run tomorrow or the next day. Then the long run this week's going to be the 5 mile run. And that's going to be 8 kilometers. That'll be longer than I'm used to. Try to do that. Wednesdays are good days for me to do that. Monday would be good as well. So if I could, I don't want to cramp out all the runs into like consecutive days. It's good to have a rest in between. But I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow, and maybe I'll get out there for the speed run. We'll see. See what the conditions are like too. If the snow's kind of cleared and melted. Or I'll wait till Monday for that, and then maybe the long run would be Wednesday, and then we're into the next week, 11 weeks to go on Thursday. So that might be a good plan going forward for this coming week. I'm just going to switch back to the coffee slide here, and so just bear with me as I switch. And yeah, so day 16 is today, and we're on this 100-day journey. And this week on day 14, I shared with you what we were going to cover on the week ahead. So we just kind of went over that, the long run, the intervals. Nutrition, I've been trying to eat healthier protein. So I have a smoothie around noon, and then I have some lean protein, and try to get it from organic or wild sources. So for example, cod, I had cod this week. We had some chicken. I made some chicken soup. I've been drinking that as part of my intermittent fasting that I do from 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. each day. So I've been really focusing on protein. I've been focusing on electrolytes, getting enough water, enough salts. And then I've been focused on fiber. So getting enough fiber, and that's in my smoothies as well as a salad to go with the protein that I'm eating for dinner. So that's kind of been the focus of my nutrition. I am taking collagen. I ran out of collagen, so I ordered another one. It's a marine type of collagen, so I add that to my smoothie, and that's for the connective tissues. That's for the ligaments, the muscles, the tendons in my joints, as well as my hair and my skin. So the collagen is really important. And then, of course, rest. Just getting enough rest in between, getting some good sleeps, taking a nap if needed. All of that's really important because you need to be well rested to succeed. You can't just be pushing it all the time. And my personality is the type that I do like to go out there and do my best. So just enjoying the run sometimes, like today when it snowed, taking some pictures, stopping to take a picture of the creek when I'm running over the bridge, or the path that I'm running on, to be able to share it. Those are things that I'm doing this time versus previous training periods. If you want to learn more, please follow us here on social media, on this channel, or on our YouTube channel or our podcast. And for me, what I want to do is learn more about myself during this period, this process. I want to be able to run faster, get in better shape physically, have some fun doing this, and a personal record or personal best would be amazing if I could accomplish that in any one of the 3 runs early in 2022. I'd be so excited about that. So on social media, at True North PM on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. On Facebook, we're at True North Practice Management, and our podcast is called Health Professional and Wellness Coaching. So please follow the podcasts as well on your favorite podcast provider, Android and Apple and Spotify. And then for coaching, if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching, I do have some spaces available right now. You just have to click on the link in the show notes or in our bio, and then it'll give you a menu. And in the menu, just click on 15 or 30-minute initial coaching session. I'd be happy to talk to you about your running and your run training, no matter what level you're at. If you're a beginner or you've already been running, or maybe you've signed up for your first race or you're trying to do better on previous races that you've done, I'm here to help. So I will provide some feedback to you. We'll do weekly calls if it's a good fit on that first call. If you think there's benefit to you and we think you'd be a good fit as a client and we'd be able to provide value to you, definitely we'll move forward, and we'll do calls on a weekly basis. Usually they're 15 to 30-minute calls. And then we provide, text and email support in between the calls. So if you have any questions, we're happy to answer those questions and to encourage you and to hold you accountable to some of the things that you want to accomplish. So really, this is about running, and it's about dreams and goals and getting healthier and in better shape. And definitely I'm here to help you as a fellow runner. But I have a lot of knowledge too as a healthcare provider for 27 years, as well as somebody who's written books, an author on Amazon. Definitely have lots to share with you and to offer you. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this this live broadcast. We'll continue doing these coffee with Coach Cary on Saturdays, and then the happy hours, we do those on Friday or Saturdays. So please join us for that, and we'll talk to you guys soon.